Hi everybody, welcome to Tea Time with Vincent. I'm Vincent. Um, this is the last video in basically my Get to Know Me series of Tea Time. I'm going to continue doing Tea Time with Vincent, but it's not going to be it's going to be more than just about me. Um, it will be topics, just random topics, things you guys want to hear me talk about. Um, I might have hubby in on a video one of these days. In fact, Teresa over at Keto Fat Girl No More did a tag video, and she basically was like, "Hey, if you watch this, consider yourself tag." And I was like, "I gotta do this with the hubby." So tomorrow's tea time will probably be that tag, just because I think that would be fun. So today's video is, as I said, the end of my story time, and I'm talking about the reason I started this channel in the first place, which is my health journey. Yay! So, um, starting back in the very beginning, I've always been a big person. I was, I was the typical fat kid. Um, and I hear people coming in the house. Yay! Um, so yeah, I was your typical fat kid. I've always been big as far back as I can remember. And my dad, being the wonderful human being that he was, uh, and I say that with loads of sarcasm, he would always be like, "You need to do more. You need to get off your expletive, and you need to, just constantly up my butt about it." This coming from a man who was big himself. My entire family was big. Um, Meals consisted of bread, pasta, fried foods, just things dripping in grease. And we lived on a small farm, so I did activities. I was always outside. Um, the problem was, probably wasn't enough um, for me to lose any weight, especially considering what and how much I was eating at home. Um, but I heard it all from my dad that I was fat, that you know, just you need to get off your ass, you need to do this, and it wasn't helpful at all. It just made me feel like total crap about myself. So I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna do it. Doesn't matter if I do it because you're just gonna. My thought was he's just gonna find something else to bitch about. So I didn't really care. Plus, the doctors always said that I was, regardless of my weight, I was healthy. So I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, so I'm a big person, big deal. Um, it wasn't until my dad was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and eventually type 1, that something clicked, and I was like, I gotta do something because what's happening to him is going to happen to me because genetics suck. Let's face it, genetics sometimes suck. And we're basically eating the same things. So it's going to happen to me at some point. So I became your typical, I've got to try this diet. I got to try that diet. I got to I gotta find all this time to work out. I've got to do the, like, I kind of was hyper vigilant about it to the point that I was unhealthy. Um, and then when it wasn't working the way I had expected it to, I would quit. And I did that for several years of my life. Um, and then over the last few years, my health started to decline. I found out that I had degenerative disc disease, arthritis in my back, spinal stenosis. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Um, and then the kicker, I was told that I was pre-diabetic, and that scared the crap out of me. So, November of last year, just before my birthday, like a few days before my birthday, I don't remember the exact date, but November 2017, I said, I've got to kick my butt into gear. So I started doing some research. I found out about macros. Um, I was seeing a nutritionist and I was losing weight that way. Up until I started out, let me backtrack a bit. I started out at 260 pounds. Um, and over time, um, I was losing weight, and then my A1Cs were checked and everything. Um, again, and my doctor said, "You are no longer pre-diabetic. You are you are officially type 2 diabetic." And to be honest, I felt like giving up because I was like, I've been working my butt off to get to where I am. I'd lost, I think, 20 pounds at that point. I worked my butt off, literally. Um, and I'm still diabetic. So I really thought about giving up at that point. But I said, you know what? No, this is type 2. That means I can make it better. This isn't type 1 yet. I can still do this. There is still hope. There is still time to fix this. And I apologize for the shakiness. I am on my bed, and every time I make a movement, it shakes. Um, so, yeah, the fact that I had type 2 diabetes almost made me quit again for the umpteenth time. But between giving myself a pep talk, excuse me, and hubby Raynar talking to me and kind of getting me out of my rut, I said, you know what, no, I'm going to keep going because I can fix this. So that's what I did. I continued with the diet and the exercise, and I got down to 230 pounds. Now, here's the kicker for that. I stayed in the 230s for several months. Um, and I would gain and lose the same 3 to 5 pounds. So I would get down to 230, and then I would go up 3 pounds, and then I would lose that 3 pounds, and then I'd go up to like 235, and then I'd get down to 230 again, and then I'd gain 3 pounds, and then 5 pounds, and then I was stuck in the 230s for months and months and months, and I was just like, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? Um, I thought about upping my workouts, but also thought to myself, I don't want to kill myself because I already have physical issues. So I said, I just got to keep doing the workouts the way I'm doing them. to the best of my ability right now. Um, so something's got to change about my diet. But what is it? What is it? And regardless of my losing weight and eating a lot better, um, my glucose numbers were still high. So I had been following other weight loss YouTubers, and a lot of them were keto. I knew about keto previously. Um, I figured it was pretty much the new Atkins diet. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. But I saw so much success and so many good things about it. Um, more, I saw some not so good things, um, but it was definitely a lot less than what I saw when the Atkins diet was around. So I continued to watch YouTubers like Keto Chaos, uh, Keto Fat Girl No More, and just watching these people just succeed and feel good. And I was like, I want to feel that way. I'm sick of feeling like this. I'm sick of sitting at 230 pounds. So, what has it been? Like 7, 8 weeks now? I think it's been like between 6 and 8 weeks now. um, I've been keto, and I have lost. I broke through the 230s, guys. I broke through the 230s. My 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 first, pretty much my first weigh in. I was out of the 230s. Um, it was either my first or second weigh in on keto that I was out of the 230s, and I was like, I'm gonna keep going because I'm out of the 230s now. I broke that threshold, and I felt good, and I was like, sweet, this is awesome right now. So and I also told myself, I said, I'm going to do this for more than like a week or two, um, because I was made aware by watching other watching the keto channels that there's water weight that you got, it's going to fluctuate, so on and so forth. So I said, okay, so this is not something that I can just be like, oh, it works after a week or two. Or it doesn't work and I'm gonna quit. No, I didn't do that. I I said I'm going to do this for a long while, if not for the rest of my life, because I need to make sure this works. I need to make sure that I'm doing this right and that I keep in my mind, keep it in here that hey, this could be water weight. I just have to pay attention to things like I have to look at my measurements too, which is something I never did before. I never took my measurements um, until I started keto because everybody was like, your weight is going to fluctuate. So even if your weight fluctuates, your measurements will change. Sure enough, that's the truth. So over the time that I have been on keto, I've gone from about 230, 230. In fact, let me look here. I have a message. I'm going into my Higgy app and I'm looking. I apologize. I should have looked at this beforehand. I'm going into the metrics, into weight. So August 5th was my weigh in pre pre-keto, and I was at 231. Um, August 12th, I weighed myself again, and I was 227. 227. So that first week, I lost several pounds. Um, and I was so happy because I broke the 230s. Um, and then I gained some back. I went back up to 230. Um, and then I lost it again. And then I went back down to 228. Um, so actually, I've been doing this how many weeks? I've been doing this, so there's one, two, okay, so it's been like, this week will be like my fifth week, fifth week, I believe. No, it's more than that. It's gotta be like 6 weeks. I'll figure it out. I have to actually like look at a calendar. So as of the, let's see, the 9th of this month, I am down to 222 pounds. So I'm almost in the 210s, which, to be honest, I haven't seen the 210s since, this is going to sound bad, I haven't seen the 210s since middle school. That was really hard to say because it just shows how big I've been pretty much all my life. That was hard to say, but I haven't seen the 210s since middle school, so I'm really excited to get there. Um, I'm hoping that when I weigh myself on Sunday, that that number will be in the 210s, even if it's like 219, even if it's just out of the 220s, but I'll still be happy about it. And even if I don't, I'll still be happy about a loss. Um, and if it doesn't show a loss, if it shows a gain, I mean, I'll just have to remind myself that it's probably water weight. But yeah, so right now, as it stands, I'm pretty much a keto success story at this point. Non-scale victories, I've dropped inches. I don't have my notebook with me, or I'd tell you. Um, my September measurements video. If you want to go back and you want to look at that, you'll know how many inches I've lost. Um, so I've lost inches. I've gone down a pant size. Um, Large shirts pretty much fit me perfectly. Um, I just have more energy. Oh, and the big, big, big part for me is that my glucose numbers have been perfect. Like they are way where they need to be. So I should be coming up on having my A1C tested again. And then from there, once that happens again, I am going to talk to my doctor about getting off the medications. Because if my numbers are like normal, even low at some points, because I am still taking my medicine right now for the diabetes. So I want to see if maybe I can either start weaning and see how that goes. Um, but yeah, that's my goal is I would like to get off the diabetes medication. I would like to be off all my medications, but we're gonna deal with one medical issue at a time. There are some meds that I will probably never be off of. Um, and that's my medication for my depression, my PTSD. Um, Man, the light is making me look ghosty. I am pale. Pale as I'm really pale. Um, it's only going to get worse as we enter winter. Um, but yeah, I mean, over the course of the few weeks that I've been on keto, I've noticed a lot of changes. Not just on the scale, but overall. Clothes fitting better. I feel better. Glucose numbers are good. So I'm really happy with keto, and I'm gonna stick to it. Probably for the rest of my life, especially if it's really helping my glucose numbers. So that is, wow, that is, sorry about the shakiness. That is pretty much my health journey in a nutshell. Um, I'm, I'm finally succeeding and I'm finally getting better. There are things that I do need to improve. I haven't worked out in a while. Unless you count all the lifting and bending and everything else that I do at my volunteer site. I volunteer, so I do a lot of heavy lifting and things like that. So I mean, I guess you could count that, but that's kind of just daily stuff for me. So I want to add in like your typical workouts. I don't know if you can hear my kiddo playing in the living room out there. I would like to increase my activity. So that's another thing I got to work on, and maybe that will help me lose some more. One would hope. But yeah, that is my health journey in a nutshell, and that concludes tea time with Vincent story time, I guess. Kind of just talking about my backstory. That concludes that little series. I hope everyone has a great Saturday. Enjoy your tea, your water, your soda, whatever it is you're drinking. Or if you're not drinking anything, it doesn't matter. Today I wasn't drinking anything. I figured since kiddo's not really been napping lately, it would be a good idea to just come in here and do it. Um, so I didn't really have time to do the tea, which is cool. So yeah, guys, have a great day. Enjoy your drinks, or don't enjoy your drinks, whatever you want to do. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining me.